Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a newbie, it doesn't take you long before you snap off the end of a reciprocating saw blade, or they get dull. So I'm going to show you how to put a quick new end on them so you can keep using them, and how you can quickly sharpen them and keep using them as well and finish your project. Keep watching. So I was walking through the wrecking yard the other day, and this blade was just sitting on the ground. I picked it up, just ran my finger across it real fast, and all the teeth are still nice and sharp. Has a little bit of use out here, but more than likely they were just, well, they were cutting just with this outside edge, and ended up hitting something, cutting something off of a car, and just snapped it right off. They pulled it out, threw it away, moved along. I think it still has life, so we're going to give it more life. All I'm going to do is take a good blade. This is the little tab that broke off. And I'm just going to take a good blade. I'm just going to lay it on. And we're just going to Sharpie what needs to be cut out. And our little hole. And just grind that out. And the blade will be back on. You can also weld them. I've welded them before. Here's one that I welded. I didn't want to shorten the blade any, so I just had another blade that had snapped off, say right about here, or was dull. I don't remember. I might have cut it off. And I just laid that right over the top where it didn't interfere, and I just welded it on. But to cut this out, what I'm going to use is just I like using a die grinder. You could also just use an angle grinder. I'm using these nice blades, and I've been loving these. These are diamond coated blades. They're just like the abrasive blades, but they never wear down, and they last so much longer. They say they last like 1,000 cuts, or 20 times longer, or 50 times longer than a regular blade, and they're pretty dang cheap. I'll put a link to these. But now I'm just going to zip that out real fast and drill a hole. Now we're just going to drill a hole, and it's a little bit bigger than an 1/8 inch. An 1/8 inch would work, but it's 9/64. So we'll take this, we'll throw it in, lock it down. It's in there. It's ready to live a second life. So now, what about if you need to sharpen them? That's easy enough. So usually I do the wood ones. I've actually really never played too much around with the metal ones. The teeth are so small. But you could do it with a Dremel. The same principle as the wood one with the Dremel. And so these are ones I've done. These are pretty much the ones I only used 2 to do my entire pallet shed. And I dismantled a lot of pallets with these 2 blades. And you can see this one finally broke, and it was already getting super thin. So I just moved along. But this one was just as fat as this to begin with. You know, but I just moved back. So to sharpen this really quick, we're going to take our cutoff blade. And so I'm using another one of these diamond blades because they're thin and they fit inside the tooth. So we're going to put it in where the tooth is and pull it. And so we're touching the face of the tooth and making a sharp edge. And we're just going to go do that on each one. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Almost that quick. And all we're doing is touching it and giving it a new sharp edge right on top, and then it'll cut beautifully. And you can keep going down quite a bit. Once you start getting too deep though, like these, they don't cut, they still cut good, but not as good because there's no it's called the tooth set. Each tooth actually leans one way or the other, and so the further you go down, there's no set to them, and so they don't cut as good, but they still cut really good. Same with your metal cutting blades. They have a minor set to them. You'll notice if you rub your hands down the side, you feel them pulling out on the side and down here. I mean, there's no waviness down here. But then on a new blade, sometimes you can see that they've intentionally put it like in a vise and crimped it back and forth to give it a set to it. But we're just going to take this blade and just go in there. You could also do this with a like a Dremel. I really like these blades, and again, I'll put a link below what these are so you can read about them. Freshly sharpened blade. Just for fun, I took this one that was dull. You can see it's well used. And I just touched my Dremel on each little tooth. I did dint, dint, dint. Took me about 45 seconds to do this one. So, and it feels like it's sharp. Like I said, I've never done actually a metal one, but there's no reason why it wouldn't work. So let's throw it in and let's see how well it does. So in 45 seconds, I renewed a metal cutting one as well, and it seemed to actually cut pretty decent. So there you go. If you enjoyed tips like that, check out my channel. There's plenty of other tips, a lot of project videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.